Ladies and gents, before we start the video, I want to remind everybody, Content Creator Program is ending tomorrow. That's right. This is the last opportunity, guys. Unless you extend it, make sure you log in and hit that extend button, guys. Get yourself into the next season and obviously postseason for this one in order to continue getting codes. I've already sent out every single supporter the following 3 codes: Hunter exclusive weapon design plus Abyssal Crystals, skill scroll times 10. Skill scroll 2 times 10, mana power elixirs 2 times 15, essence stones times 1000, and gold times 300k. All of that is now with all my supporters. You all should be able to log in and get those. Use those codes now before they expire on the 10th. But the season ends on the 5th, guys, which means tomorrow in reset time, no one is allowed to stay. If you did not extend, hit that extend button, get yourself in, and get ready for more codes coming your way. Let's get on with the video, guys. What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another SLA video. All right, folks, we're going to talk a little bit about the free-to-play account and all the ways to gain power. That's right, it's a brand new version of this, and I know there's been a lot of these out, but it always constantly changes. So I do want to discuss, at the very least, what you guys need to do to get up to date in terms of power and continue going. We have a lot of content coming our way, and including Sun Jinu's dad, obviously Sung Yil Hwan, plus a brand new WOBL. So to prepare yourself for this WOBL, we're going to talk about all the ways to gain power and what the best methods are to do so at the moment. All right, so first off, a couple things you need to know. There is going to be 2 different builds for Sung Jinu. Number 1 is going to be a DPS build, and number 2 is going to be a support build. I'm going to talk about both real quick now and what you want to do. So first off, let's talk about support build. A lot of you don't do this, some of you do, some of you don't. So support build is going to be everything in intelligence. Essentially, you want to do you want to spam all of your skills as much as possible, whether it's weapon skills or it's going to be your skills for your actual skills down here. So the way it's built is you go all intelligence, everything else stays ignored, except if you run Stormbringer. The only time you switch it up is Stormbringer. You put 300 strength and the rest goes intelligence. The reason why is Stormbringer gives you a buff. You want to get that buff, plus you cast your skill faster, so you don't want to neglect that. So Stormbringer is the only thing you need to have 300 strength. The rest of it will go in intelligence, but everything else would be intelligence. The number 1 support, or actually there's 2 of them, number 1 and number 2 support weapons are going to be the Grimoire still, and it's going to be the Moonshadow daggers. That's going to be for your hunters, mostly to do more damage. And the second one, when you're using the win team, is going to be the Stormbringer and then the Moonshadow daggers or the Grimoire. You can choose which one you want to replace, but those are the 3 main combinations. In terms of artifacts and everything that you want to use, your actual artifact setup is going to be full greed. So the reason why you do full greed here is you want to do 2 of the best support skills in the game currently are break skills, and greed. The more break skills you use, the more buffs you provide your team, including crit hit rate and crit hit damage. And these are going to be the best buffs you can give them. And right now, the best 2 skills I'm referring to are going to be Vacuum Wave right here under Armor Break, and the second one is going to be under Dagger Rush. It's this Cold Ice one. Okay, so these are the 2 you usually want to use as support, and that's how you set up your support. Now, in regards to Blessing Stones, you want to go Reawakening so you can spam as much as possible. You want to do Bloodlust so you can keep up the Bloodlust debuff, and the target's defense goes down by 14%. You want to do We Are One so everybody gets the bonus that are in the same element, so that's going to give you a 6.5% for all of them in HP, defense, and attack. And then the last one here is your call, what you think is best. I personally use Pulverize if I have to deal with breakers, or I'll use something like Intuit in order to get my cooldown even further. But this one is up to you, or Fatal Strike if you want to break faster, right? So these are all different things you can use, but those 3 specific ones are going to be your mainstay ones that you want to absolutely use. Now, for defensive purposes, there is one over here that I like to use a lot. When you successfully use Extreme Evasion 5 times, your defense will increase by 60%, right? So these are a couple different ones here you can use here that'll help your team out. This one over here in the team fight mode, team members take damage decrease by 9.5%. This is another really big one that you want to use. And another really good one, I swear that's not survival, but some people do swear by, is going to be this one over here, Demon Slayer. So if you are spamming skills, you may want to consider going Demon Slayer instead. Now, in terms of DPS builds, weapons, of course, are going to depend on what element you're fighting. So Stormbringer DKD for wind, Stormbringer staff for wind, Plum and Moonshadow for dark, light is staff and Stormbringer, so fire is bow and fan, right? And water is Allen Orb and the scythe. So all the weapons are all available. You can check out the weapon combination video I made out. And then of course, in terms of Blessing Stones, depends on who you're fighting. You might want to go with the same thing: Bloodlust, Reawakening, Boss Slayer, And then the last one is up to you. Some people go weakness detection, depending on what they're doing. Some people will use, for example, the mana rampage, or some people will end up using double-edged sword. So it all depends on the boss you're fighting, but most of you guys should be using sharp perception. Sharp perception should be your DPS one. So it should go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 bloodlust, and usually 4. That's the ones I personally use, unless again pulverize, there's a lot of break bars, then pulverize kind of takes into effect. Now in regards to skills, it all depends on the element again, right? So you can check out my skill video. I talk about these all the time, but you should always be leveling up your skills and making sure you run the skills at max level. That way you're boosting your power up. So this is a power video. So the things you want to focus on: get your skills to mythic, right? And then advance the mythic ones, get your skills max level out and try to get those to mythic. The stats here, of course, depends on what you want to do. Try to dupe your weapons, and then of course running the proper artifacts. So for the artifacts for DPS, you want to run 2 infamy, 2 curse, and then 4 obsidian or 4 expert, depending on how long the fight actually is, and those are going to be your best ones. In regards to cores, you always want to do attack percentage and try to use this core if you can. Increases attack by 5%. This is really old. I'm hoping we see a replacement for this one in the near future. Then the second one here I like to use is this Nameless Demon's Horn. Whenever I cast an ultimate, I do a shield. And then down here, this is not the best one here. It's the purple one, the one that's skill consumption one. This is the best one I had here. You want to go flat here for stats, and then just put the best stats possible. So this one should actually end up being the purple one here that you see on everybody else, but I didn't have it for him with good stats, so I just went with this one for the time being. All right, so that's important to note that, guys. So that pretty much covers SJW in a nutshell. There really isn't anything else to really talk about because I've made so many videos on that. Now, the next thing you want to do for sure is your shadow army, right? Army of shadows. This needs to be boosted as much as you possibly can. Mine's at 1 million as free to play at this point. My army level is maxed. Everything is general. And then the shades obviously are plenty. You don't have to worry about that. The next thing you want to do is in the battlefield of time, you want to start buying yourself the abyssal crystals, get those as much as possible. And then these can be converted from your regular traces. You have a ton of traces anyways. You should get those from the advanced mana crystal section. Get everybody to general. And then once you get everyone to general, you want to start focusing on getting this right here from the guild shop, right? Or as many places as you can to get it and craft them into these and focus on their growth. And then lastly, go into their skills and start pushing their skills over to 6 and 7 as much as you possibly can. This will boost your overall power quite a bit because there's a lot of skills to go through. And if you have a lot of level 6, you guys can see right here, I can just do this one's here and do level 6, right? 3, 4, 7, right there, like that. Boom. That right there is giving me 220 power. Now imagine doing this 7 times for each skill on every single unit. It is a pretty big increase, guys. So definitely get that up. And this is going to be a big one for a lot of you because many of you guys have not really either focused on this or you're very new and you haven't had the chance to. So this is going to be a big part of your power gain. All right, next up, we're going to go over to the armory. This is another important one that everybody should be focusing on. Armory here is everyone that's a global player should have 7 and 8s at this point, right? If you have a couple 5s, that's fine. You might have just unlocked it, but at this point, if you are at the 7 and 8s, you want to start crafting these right here, marks of times. Try to get a couple of these out of the way and boost that up. And then also over here, the time crystals can be bought from the guild exchange shop or the battlefield of time exchange shop. So something you should also focus on, but put your shadows first, guys. Shadows will give you guys the most amount of power before the armory will. So that's a very big one as well. Remnant power. This is something everybody should be trying to finish. This will equal 100k extra power for you if you max it out. Yogamon is almost done. We have a brand new WOBL coming, so start putting your tickets in there. Everybody should buy 1 extra ticket every single week from the guild shop if you're free to play, and you should focus on maxing this. And once you've done that, any extra shards you have, you can put towards Baron if you didn't complete it like I didn't, and go back and get that extra power. Remember, you don't have to equip them to gain that extra power. It's very important to remember that. That will help you guys overall, and it's a very important one. Now, as you push this content here, try to get your gems up as well too, right? Your Battlefield of Chaos is super important, and only promote gems, guys, that have percentages for max power gain. All right, max power gain percentages. Now in this section, precision and damage increase or crit damage are going to give you the most amount of utility and power, and then in here, speed gives you the most amount of power, even though it's useless. But you should have a good combination of MPR and then MP additional as well. So that will give you guys your next set of power gain. So all in all, guys, if you're free to play and you're a global player and you have a fairly decent account, you should be close to 2.7 million power in terms of overall usage in terms of power, right? So you guys can see here's my hunters. Not everyone's maxed out. Obviously, I'm free to play, so I'm not going to have that. I have a lot of A3s, I have a lot of A5s, I have a lot of A0s, I have a lot of A1s. So it's a mixed bag of everything. So try to just focus on duping the characters that matter the most, summon the characters that are going to help your account and the elements you're lacking, and do your best to get as much of their weapons to A10 as possible. It will really help you in terms of your progression. And then don't forget to use simulation. Simulation is massive because it also gives you guys a ton of resources in order to buy yourself some red tickets and crafting tickets that you can use like this, for example, for your account and get all this content completed. All right, guys, there is all the power gains you can currently do in the game. Again, check out all my artifact videos, check out all my videos on cores. It'll give you guys all you need in order to get the job done and in order to get the best possible account. Also, don't forget, guys, to like, subscribe. Remember to hit that support button, get yourself some free codes. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.